remember me.
Comes with all the stuff.
Yeah. So it's silver.
Yeah, it comes with this.
The guitar player, the singer, you remember me? From church. He's the bass. Yeah, I've never forgotten you, brother.
This is double D.
You take that guy, stand with
Cut out
me.
for C and
At
bar.
work, church.
Somebody did a song.
I was on my way to the and I gotta go, I recorded it.
Sí, sí, sí. Que llegó y dijo de que no sabía que estaba aquí.
Yo me voy a salir, ahora no va a quedar él como el que se va a quedar él.
I know you were very talented back then. You were very good.
Where's a good seat?
Fine space.
I'll give them.
Yeah, it's actually.
We put logos on it. We sell them So you're saying? Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, he was for mine for a long time. Well, he's one of my favorites.
Lovely.
Rock and roll. Two, 3 times a week. A lot of my clients are in it, but golfing quarters and you go out there, carry ball. Yeah, we have a tournament coming up.
You know, I live on conference calls. I'm here for 2 weeks. You know how excited I am? I get, if I'm home from 1 week,
But you know what?
Pues la primera vez que vengo a ver si no te
Aquí estaba, pero se tuvo que ir. Sí, pero ya tenemos lleno, de hecho, nos llegó una persona que tú referiste. Sí, vamos a abrir una sesión a Valentinos. Es que ya no dame nuevas sesiones o le digo.
Jorge. It's 9:10. It's time to get started. We got a small. I know we're going to have more people walking in.
From the 1 Million Cups McAllen to the Chamber Facebook, please. Thank you. ¿Estamos listos? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to 1 Million Cups McAllen. Please raise your hand if it's your first time here. Steve, come on. All right, a lot of new faces. Thank you very much for joining us. We're glad to have you here. This is 1 Million Cups, and 1 Million Cups, it's a national program. We have around 180 chapters throughout the nation. And what we do is we get together every Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. in all chapters, and we try to help entrepreneurs. The idea here is to connect the entrepreneurship world with the community. Usually it's two separate worlds. What we want to do is connect them and create this bridge to see how we together can collaborate and help us create a better entrepreneurship ecosystem. With that said, we have a national conference that we go annually, the organizing team members. And I went this last week of September. So it's really cool to see what's happening all around the nation. You get to talk to people from big cities like New York or small cities around town, like McAllen, yeah. But it's very interesting to see that everyone is doing the same thing at the same time and with the same goal. So that's really helpful. This program is put together by an organization called the Kauffman Foundation. They have an endowment annually of $1 billion just to help entrepreneurs. So there's a lot of programs that they are going to be launching, and hopefully we will be incorporating into our ecosystem. What else? So a little bit about the story. Some people have asked me, well, why 1 million cups? It all started back in Kansas City. The community really were asking if Kauffman helps entrepreneurs. Well, I'm just gonna stop by and ask my questions. Like, I need help with marketing. I need help with this or that. And I'm just gonna stop by and ask those questions. So what they started to do is, you know what, it's good to help them, but let's put them together all at the same time. That way we can answer all the questions at the same time, right? So on Wednesdays at 9 a.m., they had free breakfast at the Kauffman building. So they started doing that every week. And it started to grow and grow and grow until it was too expensive for Kauffman to feed that many people. So they took the breakfast part of it out and they left coffee only. And that's how it started, 1 million cups. And the idea behind the name 1 million cups is that if you share 1 million cups of coffee between entrepreneurs in the community, you will create this amazing collaboration in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So that's a little bit about what we saw. I see Drew walking in. You want to MC, Drew? Awesome. I'll give you a couple more minutes to refill. Feel free, if you haven't grabbed coffee, we have some in the kitchen. Do that right now. You have like 25 seconds. Also, we have donuts. We will have a short break, and usually in the break, we will have a trivia question, and we'll get into that in a bit. The first speaker is Rhoda Grubb. Well, let's wait on Drew. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Okay, so please state your name, what you do, short, like 20 seconds, please. Don't go a lot.
Hello, I'm sorry. My name is Jerry Garcia. I am right now the manager of Print Label and Marketing Solutions. This is my first time in 1 million cups, and I'm really excited to be here.
And Jerry is going to be one of our speakers.
Marco Lopez, CMO from Print Marketing Solution.
Easy, Lara McAllen Chamber.
Brilliant graphic
Hi, Magdalena Guinaga. I'm the owner of Opari Laser. I do laser engraving and laser cut gifts.
Hi, I'm Rhoda Grubb, and I've got Rhoda's Writing Emporium and all that. You're going to find out about that today.
Good morning. My name is Molly Mitchell, and I have a jewelry company. We design, manufacture, and sell jewelry.
I'm Larry Mitchell. I have a very important job. I'm her Uber driver.
Good morning. I'm Cedric Fisher. I own a publishing firm. We publish both books and magazines. We launched this magazine this summer, and I recently relocated here from San Antonio. Very active with Million Cups and Launch Essay up there, if you're familiar with those folks. I also teach workshops at Wayland Baptist University, so when I saw the school emblem out there, I got excited. I saw something I was familiar with. Good morning.
Good morning. first-time visitor. My name's Alvaro Peña, and I'm a tax professional. I'm an enrolled agent, and I'm happy to be here today. Thank you.
Antonio Villarreal. I'm the owner of Lendio, small business lending. We're the alternative lending. Whenever you have problems with the banks, you can come to us, and we can, see if we can help you on your small business lending. We're the alternative.
Maria Garcia, a community member. I'm a writer, and I was very much interested in seeing what's happening with writing, and that's why I came today.
Good morning. My name is Lawrence Schwegler. I'm visiting from the nonprofit world, and I'm with the Rio Grande Valley Literacy Center. We provide low-cost ESL, GED, digital literacy, citizenship classes, anything literacy for low-income adults. Oh, and I'm from Kansas City, so I just wanted to check in on how. I know the Kauffman Foundation, yeah.
And you probably know Dorothy, the Wizard of Oz. My name is Silver Trevino. Silvestre is my real name. People call me Silver. I'm the inventor of Ready Tea, a golf tee holder with a ball marker, magnetic ball marker. I'm also one of the founders of 1 Million Cup here, and I'm here to stay and grow. Thank you.
Steve Elaney is with the McAllen Chamber. Now, for those of you who are new, you notice that you have bells by your seat. We don't clap, we ring the bell, okay? So just I want to make that perfectly clear. We're glad that you're here. This is the second or third time we've done it here. I think we've done this event at the Chamber, and I'm not slamming my building, right? But the boardroom, conference room is a very formal setting. And we kind of like the feel that this is a little bit more informal. It allows somebody who wants to sit right next to the wall. You can always get back to the wall, just like any good church. And so we just think it's just a really good setting for this type of dialogue. The other thing, if you like this, I would encourage you to look at the I&E Network, which meets the fourth Thursday in the evenings from 6 to 8. Jorge's proud to promote free beer and pizza, which you can't get anyplace else. So we're glad that you're here.
Good morning. I'm Ismael De Leon with Alpha and Omega Clean Services. Actually, we just got back out of town, so it's been a long time I haven't got here. So if I haven't seen you, I haven't met you. Nice, and this is awesome that we're invited to this kind of program. So actually, that's how we learn and how we meet other people.
Cool. I'm a Drew. I'm a Drew. Oh.
Good morning. I'm Aziz Shari. I own Aziz Shari Insurance Agency. It's right over here on 495 in Pecan. Of course, there's a million insurance companies here in McAllen, but I would say the best because I've been doing it for 25 years. I specialize in commercial insurance, all kinds of cyber liability, including insurance for contractors, builders, companies that have fleet trucks and they need to have those insured. That's my specialty. Anyone who has a business, whether it's a restaurant or shopping center, we also insure that. Thank you very much.
We got everybody. We're in. I'm a Drew. I have a couple of different things we do here. 2016, 15, something, winner of the Innovation Grant. So we have a company called Wi-Fi Stand.
They're really a cereal.
I really want to make a food truck called Cerealously and just sell cereal, like all kinds of different cereal with all kinds of different milk. Seriously. Anyway, a serial entrepreneur type thing, tech consulting firm, nonprofit called Code RGV, Wi-Fi Stand, and we're launching some new products. So we're very excited. My day job, I work for the Comcast Corporation out of Philly. So I spend my days in these offices back here designing Wi-Fi solutions for all kinds of neat people. Yeah, it's a good time. So we have really good Wi-Fi in here. When Spectrum's working, it hasn't been working for the last 2 days. So as these guys mentioned, basically the whole gist of this is if we can sit down and you can share a cup of coffee with someone who's done lending or someone who does publishing or someone who does writing or someone who does technology. It's a great way to advance your business, advance what you have the capability to do. And that's the whole goal of it. So we've had some pretty cool people that have come through here over the last, I don't even know how long we've been doing it, 2 years, a year, 2 years. So all kinds of people. So it's always interesting to see new faces come in. We encourage you to go out and share the message with everyone that this is neat and there's at the very least free donuts. And some really bad trivia that Jorge has. But I added a trivia this morning. I did. I'm not going to jump over yours yet. But it's okay. I'll give you something from my office. We have lots of crazy swag back there. So we have 2 today. Who's going first? Rada. Okay, Rada. You've written about me. You've written beside me. You've written wonderful things. If you don't know Miss Grubb, you can read her articles a lot in the McAllen Chamber magazine, and then you've been published in a bunch of different locations, and then you do the writing workshops here at the incubator. I see it every morning. I walk right past it. Anyway, so I will introduce you the RGV Writers Connection, a monthly gathering for writers to network and learn. So this is how it works. She's got 6 minutes, and we time her. And then we cut her off from the back. And then after those 6 minutes, we have 20 minutes of Q&A with her. And so what I would encourage you to do is think about, don't just listen to her story from the perspective of, oh, that's a cool story. Think about how you can help, and how you can help, and how you can help, and how you can help. And then think about it from the perspective of either a client or a customer. Think about it as her competition. Think about it as someone who may be a potential investor in what she's doing. And offer her advice on how she can help out overall, but taking into account her story. So Ms. Rada, if you don't mind, come on up here. You can ring my bell. No, anyway, bad. So you have 6 minutes starting when I get back to that cup of coffee.
Tell me when. Oh, go. Oh, hi. Hi, I'm Rada Helensky Grubb, and I have Rada's Writing Emporium. I'm a writer, a reporter, a storyteller, author, and most importantly this morning, I'm an entrepreneur. I have been a freelance writer for many years now, and I've always dreamed of taking my company and expanding it into something that is financially sustainable. I'm not there yet, and that's why I'm here this morning. I have, do what? Oh, well, he's, okay, all right. Anyway, so I do the feature human interest type of writing, and I love it. I love meeting people. I learn so much. I'm so inquisitive, so that fits me to a T. So I ended up wanting to do more, so I ended up writing 2 books. First book, Roxanne Finds God. Now, this is a book that I was sure God gave to me. I was going to become a millionaire with this book. It's 4-color. It's wonderful, about a little girl who's very inquisitive. Her mother sends her off in search of God. She has a conversation with God. Oh, it's great. So I was sure it's going to... So even though I need to go into a second printing with it, and still I have not sold enough of those to be sustainable. So then there was Everill's Quest. Now, Everill's Quest, I always feel, I love Harry Potter and that, but I wanted to do something that was more uplifting, more, I don't know, let people feel good when they're reading a book instead of always having all these horrible things happen and everything goes down. And so I call myself, I write spiritually inspired fantasy adventures. So Everill's Quest started from, I wrote a story about the circus. They gave me tickets, and I, quote, won the elephant foot painting that night. So if you haven't seen the elephant foot. And so I hung it up in my office, and after a few weeks, few months, I started seeing rivers and deserts, mountains and cities and all kinds of things in it. And I wondered what it was like to go to the foot. So I would start imagining what would happen and what it was like to go to the Isle of Foot. And all these things came together. Well, I had found out that I'm a pantser. I write by the seat of my pants. I cannot sit and plot. I have to sit at my computer, say my prayers, and start writing. And so this plot of this is there's a young lady who has lost her memory, and she is running with 7 people through this wall of fire and being led by this mysterious man to a new world, and they have been asked to help save the world by finding their gifts. And so it's like a vacation from all the things going on around the world, and it's a fun little book. And I thought, okay, this is good, and I wanted control over my books, so I wanted to do it myself. So I learned about buying ISBNs, and I started Journey Publishing right here. So I have Journey Publishing, and I found that I love to write. I don't market worth a hoot. And so I decided I needed to go and find out how to market my books. So I joined the Idea Place. Woohoo! Yay, Chamber. This is a fantastic, woohoo! A life-changing event for me, those 8 weeks. Well, it was 9, but we missed one. But anyway, it was fabulous because I went from thinking I was going to learn how to market my books to developing the RGV Writers Connection, a Writers Hangout, which I think is wonderful. It's for writers of all kind. You do not have to be an author. You do not have to, you can be a journalist, you can be a social media writer, it doesn't matter, as long as you want to continue to learn how to write. So this month we had a presentation on script writing. Next month it'll be how to work through your fears, with a wonderful story from Sean Russell, who wrote a little children's book called Be Still Little Tree, Be Still, thank you. And so I developed it into it's a membership, but it's very low. It's only $50 a year for 10 months. Oh, I got 2 minutes. And but I want to help the writers. I mean, it's so cool to have these people come together, share their experience, strength, and hope, and work together. It's really cool. So I'm going to leave that as is. So then my potential income, I'm thinking, is learn how to market my books, become a consultant. I've just added that because I love helping people figure out their answers to things. When it comes to writing and books, and develop a speaker circuit. I did do a presentation last year after I did the writers conference here at the UTRGV creative writing class on how to take your ideas and turning it into a story using a variety of things, including music, because I write to music. And that was really cool. I loved it, and I would love to take that to the schools. I've already contacted MISD, and they thought it was a good idea, so I'm going to try to develop that. So I'd like to thank the Chamber very much for allowing me to get up here and throw everything out at you. I don't know if I went everything over in my notes, but that's okay. And I still have a minute? Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if there's anything left for me to tell you about that. I would like to thank Rio Bank as my sponsor for the RGV Writers Connection. We do meet the first Saturday of every month here in the incubator, sometimes in the tech place and sometimes on the third place on the second floor. We are planning on having a writers fair for December for the members to sell their books for Christmas. And so I'm just trying to build a writers community here. We have an artist community, we have all kind of communities, but not anything specifically for writers, and there's so many great writers down here. So again, thank you very much, and I appreciate your time.
Awesome. Okay, hang on. Whoa! Now you get to be put on the hot seat. So, fantastic. It's awesome. I'll kick some questions off. So I blog. I do a lot of technical writing. I write online and stuff like that. Do you guys have any online writers here? Anyone that has their own independent blog or independent analysis or anything like that?
We've got a bunch of them. I don't know who they are. I've just seen them as I go through and I'm popping up, because this is my third week for the connection. So the first week there was 3, and the first month was 3. The second month there was 12, and this month there was 13. So people are slowly but surely coming out. But yeah, I've seen them.
So, Rod, how can we, so what do you need help with? Yeah, okay. What do you need help with? How can you help?
I think what I need help with is, number one, spreading the word about the Writers Connection. And if anybody, well, I don't know how to be a consultant. I don't know what that means, or except for helping. And I tend to want to do everything for free, and that does not make me financially sustainable. So I need to learn how to say, okay, I can help you do this. Yeah.
So who has an idea to help her be
Hey,
financially
publish my
sustainable?
books, market my book.
Well, on the consultant side, I could really use a coach. I know how it is not to, I was a philosophy major, try converting that into any profit. I would love to write a philosophy book. I keep writing, but then I really need someone to coach me, just to make sure I'm writing every day. And
yeah.
Maybe there's something you could offer that.
Like a writing coach, right?
Yeah, basically just say, hey, get to work. Yeah.
Yeah. But then how would I charge for that,
Per hour.
So do you teach workshops? You do workshops?
I'm adding that to my list, yes, I am gonna be doing workshops.
You're gonna start developing.
Yes.
So
Developing, okay, that's a good word.
help me pronounce it. Is it rada?
Rada.
Rada.
Like a fishing rod and it was supposed to have been a roder, but, they didn't know that back in those days, so.
No problem. It's a wonderful name. So are you a brand or do you have a business? Are you just?
I'm Rada's Writing Emporium.
So you do have.
I am, and I'm Rada the Writer on all my, I've got a website, which is not very exciting, but I've got a Facebook, Rada the Writer, and I've got a Facebook, RGV Writers Connection. I've got Instagram, which I hardly ever, Twitter. I remember I went to a workshop on all this social media, and they said, it's so overwhelming, and it was just pick one or two, and so I'm really more into Facebook than anything with,
So have you looked at doing Medium? Are you familiar with Medium at all?
No.
So Medium, is anyone here familiar with Medium? Okay. So Medium, so Facebook is probably just for what it's worth. I don't think Facebook is the right outlet for you for what you're doing. I think Medium would give you a lot more distance.
What
So
is it?
Medium is like, it's a way to basically start your own blog, but you can have premium content that only premium members can see, and then you can even set up a deal where they can pay you to read the content that you write, but it's all about writers.
It's like a writer showcase.
It's like a writer showcase, yeah.
Or-
It's like, imagine a magazine that anybody can contribute to. Medium is a fantastic way, specifically for writing. I'm trying to think of what other. No, it's a website. You've got it's a social media network. So Facebook is great for posting pictures of your family and your dogs, right? Snapchat is great for people who are under the age of 30. Facebook's numbers have completely died off, by the way. Facebook is popular amongst us, but we don't look. How many people go to Facebook to read about writing? Yeah. No offense, but it's the same as like Instagram or Snapchat are picture based, right? That's all photography based, right? So it's Flickr, so it's Tumblr, all those are photography based. So it's not really the right fit. But Medium is built specifically for writers.
MEDIUM.com?
Medium, yeah. So something like that, or something like working with WordPress, if you set up a WordPress site.
Mine is a WordPress site.
Okay. Yeah, then figuring out how to get that content.
And I do have a blog started, but I haven't been consistent because
Consistency's super huge.
I know.
Super huge.
Key.
Yeah. So my blog gets about 7,500 unique viewers a month, and it's a consistent deal that I post on WordPress. But I syndicate that onto Medium also. So whenever I post on one, I post on the other at the same time, and so my Medium feed gets a ton of traffic on there. But LinkedIn probably may not even be a good fit unless you have a business service that you're offering.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail, but those are kind of, from a social media perspective, you have to use the right tool for it.
Yeah.
It's like eating cereal with a fork. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't have the right combination.
I was gonna add, also for you to get involved into knowing this kind of platform, start subscribing to the, let's say, the New York Times book recommendation. They send you weekly. One of the things that has pulled me personally to buy books is that they get featured, but they give you a little extra of what the book is about, but not only, you know, not only the cover and the first page or something. They actually give you a little extract, and you go and buy the book. You get.
Well, I'm on
books.
Amazon with my books. I'm on Amazon. I'm on Draft to Digital, so that puts me on. I think it's like 8 to 10 different sites. So I'm on Barnes and Noble. I'm on Amazon, and a bunch that I haven't even heard of. But it's all part of Draft to Digital, and they keep expanding all the time. I thought of libraries, but I'm not sure.
Well, so we have a question over here.
So you're like a vendor, right? And have you offered this kind of services like for the state, government, schools, Region 1, Region 2? And that's how you can publish your book, your information, and get your name out there and start knowing you. But for that, you gotta be prepared.
Yeah, because I get overwhelmed that I don't know what I'm doing, and so I don't do anything.
Well, as long as you have a solid foundation and you're prepared, I think that's the best thing that you need to have ready to go out there. Because once you get calls, you need to be out there for the customer, and that's the first thing. You gotta have a good foundation, a good solid foundation. What you have, what kind of tools, like you said, what kind of tools you got, and once you're ready to go for it, you're ready to go out there and challenge and go and service the community and the government. Government right now, they'll buy anything, from paper clips to rockets.
Yeah, but my books, I mean, they're spiritually.
Well, maybe
motivated.
not your books, but your expertise. I'm with you on the Region 1 side. Region 1 has Region 1 and Texas Workforce are always looking for people to produce workshops for them. Always. I mean, Code RGB, that's how Code RGB state funded over the last 5 years by Texas Workforce alone. And they send out RFPs to us saying, will you come produce a workshop? Will you come produce a workshop? So there may be an opportunity there, but I agree with you. A strong foundation is key in that, making sure you have all your ducks in a row. What else do we have? How else can she help monetize this as a way to sustain her income?
Yeah.
So Rod, I'm a full service professional publishing firm. We publish both books and magazines. 38 years in the game. And fundamentally we're writers. And we write everything. Technical stuff, blog, you name it. All the new media stuff. And we're a group of seasoned journalists. You know, average age is probably 45 on the team. We've got the youth that are bringing in all the new social media stuff, but we've got the seasoned guys, folks like me, boomers, and even older. Our best editor is about 80 years old, confined to a wheelchair, but she's the best in the game. But so we have a whole network of folks. We just relocated down here, so one of the reasons I came here is I wanted to meet you and hear about all the writing communities that are in town here. But you got about, and we can sit down and talk offline, because I could share just a multitude of how we can help you become profitable. Because you got about 5 income streams I'm looking at right there on the
all of which are, yeah, we need all.
No, but I mean, to that fairness, and I think this may be part of your point, is that you have 5 income streams, and if each one of them gives you $1,000 a month, that's $5,000 a month.
Oh God, I think.
If each one gives you $200 a month, that's $1,000 a month.
Or at any given time, again, I've been in this game 38 years, at any given time, one of them's paying off, the other 4 may not. They may be slow, and then you gotta focus on that. Most entrepreneurs in general follow the money. So whatever's paying right now is where we go. Workshops are huge. And I do workshops at Wayland Baptist in San Antonio. $50 a person, and I always fill the room. But part of it is I got a brand out there. People know who I am and what I do up there. This is why I'm here again, because nobody knows my name in this town. But we've relocated here. We can talk offline. I'll share with you. Don't worry about, because I generally charge about $150 for $150 for a consultation.
Oh.
But this is on the house, because I just want to help you out.
Thank
so
you.
so that's awesome, man.
You are God's answer. You're here.
Just put an ad on my company, whatever you sell, I give it to you.
Put an ad with your company.
Yeah, I mean, it's a publication. You will put ads or you don't put no ads?
No, she produces books. She writes books.
Oh, books, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do books. And I've got other books I want to write. My husband's book, The Naked Pastor, and another Isla Foot novel he's wanting to wander around in there.
So the thing I see confuses me a little bit is it sounds like you have a lot of things in front of you, And there's something I learned super young is, you know, jack of all trades, master of nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Swiss Army knife is a great tool, but a terrible knife. So on and so forth. Is there one, I mean, you're doing a lot, it's all in the same atmosphere, which is great. But I think to your point, you have to find one that's really gonna lead the charge, right? And if you don't, I would just advise you to look at the focus of whichever one of those it is, because I think they're all great, and I do agree, there's a bunch of them that are up there. But if you find the one that leads the charge, that cuts the way for the others. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I understand that.
Do you plan on writing more books? Is
Yeah.
that your passion, the
Oh,
book
yeah.
writing?
Oh,
Is it,
yeah.
or is it more developing your application?
Well, I
service?
love helping people write and learn to write and that kind of stuff. But my passion is writing. I
And
love
writing,
to
book
write.
writing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that to sell books, to sell your books and if you're planning on writing, developing your Instagram is great for sales. You post pictures of your book, maybe inserts of your book, and you can do really low budget advertising on Instagram that links to the purchase of your book, and you create you can develop your personality. It can kind of be a lifestyle. It doesn't have to be all about your books. It can kind of be, you know, more of a lifestyle theme, so that people get to know you and kind of what your topics are. And then once you create new books, you know, Instagram is a great sales tool.
I know, but it's pictures, and
It's
I'm more.
pictures.
but pictures of books, look at Sean Russell.
It's pictures.
Look what Sean's
I
done.
know, he
He's-
is
I mean,
awesome. He's the one who's talking next month.
But
It's
he's
pictures.
created a brand.
Yeah.
Or rather, you could post a picture that is not even your picture. It could be when it doesn't have to be just you. It could be about something you're interested in, and then it could link
Well,
to
that's
your blog.
what I'm doing on my blog.
And you link it to your blog, and then they read your story on your blog. So they're all kind of intertwined. But Instagram is great for advertising and growing fan base or to get your awareness out there.
Never thought of it like.
I know it's a hard one to wrap your head around.
Well,
It's
a
great.
picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah. But since you're a pantser, I like how you call yourself pantser.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could do great things on your blog. Maybe so then you post on your Instagram and you link it to your blog post and
That's one of the things that we're seeing a huge trend of on the blog side. I hang out and talk to a lot of bloggers in the industry, at least in the tech industry. And I was just with a bunch of them last week in San Jose, and one of the biggest things that's happening is video. And so I'm making this huge transition to video right now, which I've been doing video pretty steadily over time. But one of the great things about video is I have a blog that's all written word, and then I have stuff that I've contributed to a podcast that's all audio. But now I'm adding video to that, and what I'm doing is I'm actually taking my video, and for $5 I can transcribe an entire video and convert that over to a blog post. So instead of me having to do 3 different mediums, I'm recording once and then using that to publish a blog post, use that to send snippets out to podcasts, and I'm hitting all media types with one
And
deal.
you're doing it as a blog, not as a blog?
Both, all blogs, all 3. So it's a podcast, a blog, and a blog. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just record once, and I take that video and I edit it out, make sure it looks good. And YouTube allows you to transcribe everything. So if you don't want to pay for it, you can just go to the little dots you click on, you say open transcript, and you take that, throw it into Grammarly, make sure it's formatted properly, and then publish that as a blog. So now you've got, so the big key, right, not only with Instagram, is SEO, search engine optimization. So you want to build that brand, you want to build your whole world. It's people seeing your face, hearing your voice, watching your videos, seeing your pictures, reading your writing, but you make the writing the final product. You get everyone excited with everything else to push them to purchase your product or to come to your workshops.
Oh, that's
if I may, just to add to this and what he said, I personally know one of my professors from Masters. He started talking about storytelling, and he was saying how storytelling links to everything, how it links to the image from Instagram. It's basically telling a story, and then the videos and everything. So he has become very well known for storytelling only. So if you're able to transform I see that you're more Christian based, right? That's your audience?
Spiritual based.
It's spiritual. So if you're able to bring it, because you have so many inspirational stories, bring it as a storytelling link it to your writer's connection, and he charges a lot of money right now. So that's, I mean, I'm just giving you an idea, and I can share with you what he's doing. But how he transformed from just being a professor and writing a little publication in the school to be an institution into a storytelling, and how he links everything to it. So there's an idea.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
share it with you.
Yeah, okay.
So switching gears, would everyone in here commit to letting anyone they know about writing, that there's a writing workshop happening, and encourage them to come by on Saturdays and hang out?
So did it entice you to come? Yes. Did it entice you to come?
You're like, me too.
She said she was here for that, so.
We have two questions. We'll go silver.
Ma'am, I don't know if you remember, we used to publish, my son and I used to publish a magazine called Texas Scholars Magazine. And we had people from all over the valley, or actually from all over the state, submitting articles to us, and they never charged us. And it was great because we were publishing a magazine for the people, by the people. And one of the things that we did was, Sylvester, my son and I, we hooked up with Region 1, and they have a meeting, I think every once or twice a year with the librarians. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, at South Padre Island, and guess what? That opened the door for us, and actually they were very open-minded, and they accepted us like one of their own, and they helped a lot. We actually published one of their books, one of their magazines, I suggest that you might go there and talk, because I like books like those, you know, for kids, especially for kids. But you never know which ones they might like and might, you know, purchase from you, because.
Are you familiar with Region 1?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know. Is everyone familiar with Region 1, what we're talking about? The Texas school districts are broken up into 24 different regions across the state. Region 1 is the one that controls from Laredo to South Padre Island to South Superior. So they work with all the schools in here.
Last question.
Yeah, last question.
Oh, I didn't have a question. I was thinking, I got invited to post on a blog about like college students, and I could definitely use some help because I'm a horrible writer. So I mean, when you said who would be interested in attending a workshop, I think I would personally love to attend a workshop. My first language is not English, is Spanish. I've known this language basically for 4 years. I'm very new to it, and I don't think that I can elaborate, you know, by typing or writing as good as I can do it like in Spanish. So you were talking about how to monetize you know, your work. And these people reached out to me, and it's called, you can actually look it up, it's called thecollegegrad.org. It's gonna be a new blog about people that just graduated college and they kind of don't know what they wanna do in life. And I mean, I'm a recent college grad, I'm 22, I don't have a lot of, you know, I mean, right now I'm gonna talk more about what I'm doing right now, but through posting that on Facebook and through doing those things, they reached out to me and they were like, we want you to like make a post every month, and they're paying me for it. And I was like,
Oh, that's cool.
So it was kind of like the niche market that, and I'm horrible at it. I mean, I'm just bad. Like I don't know how to elaborate in a good way, I would say. And in this, I mean, I just told you what was it like a month ago that they reached out, and I haven't made one single blog post because of how embarrassed maybe I am of facing maybe rejection from the reader.
Yeah.
And also because I don't know what I could say that.
Oh, I know what that feels like.
See,
I
but,
know what that feels like.
And I'm not a writer, so I could definitely, you know, benefit from someone like that. I know that a lot of my friends that are in, I mean, I'm not in school anymore, but I know that a lot of my friends that are still in school that are in marketing and writing, they need a lot of help. I've seen their stuff and it's horrible also. So
I know
I
that's,
mean,
another thing I'm going to do is start working with seniors who have to write their query to the colleges, and they have to write it about themselves. One of the teachers had suggested I do that because I was helping them write their, go for the national, and they won, as a matter of fact, Teacher of the Year. And she said, oh my gosh, my son could really use some help doing it because they don't know how to write about themselves. Writing coach, add writing coach. Okay, I
Writing
can go.
coach, huh?
I can
Well,
see
great.
Jorge, he's saying it's
Yeah,
time.
we got one quick.
Super duper quick. And just because of your target audience, have you posted on and again going to social media to the church organizations and religious organizations to kind of like put it out there? Hey, this is a really neat book that does.
Well, as a matter of fact, my husband made a list of all these people to send a letter from him to before he passed away, and I can't find his list. And it's more on a, I have to be real careful there because it's more on a spiritual level than a real Christian level. It's more God-oriented. It is God-oriented because I wanted anybody who believed in God to be able to read it and not have to be defined by religion. And so, yeah, I've been real careful about that. But he said it would be great for Sunday schools and things like that.
Hang on, don't pack up.
Oh,
I gotta give you something.
Oh.
Well, you're not going far.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all would do me a favor and grab those little red bells beside you and ring them.
And I thank y'all.
So as a way to say thanks, we always give a 1 million cups cup. So you only have 999,999 to go.
Thank you, and thank you for all the great ideas, man. You got me thinking.
Trivia question.
Trivia question. Do you want to ask it? It's your
No,
question.
no, you do it.
It's good. Hey, it's very appropriate.
Yeah, that's why I did it. Well,
There's 2 questions, and they're both really good. So I'm gonna well, they're both good. J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter. You guys, everyone's familiar. Thank you. I work at Universal Studios. Or I work for Universal. I work for Comcast. We own Universal. So thank you for knowing who J.K. Rowling is. Universal Studios property.
Who doesn't know?
J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter, went from unemployed, 0 to hero, unemployed to multi-millionaire in how long? So, best guess.
Oh.
3.
3 what?
Yeah.
3 years?
Are you talking about from when she started writing the books, or?
I don't know. These are focus questions.
I don't know, I found it on the internet.
J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter, went from unemployed to multi-millionaire in how much time?
1 year.
1 year? 3 years? 10 years?
11. 6 months? 11 years.
11 years?
Just, it really depends on it.
5 years. It's 5 years. And for that, you get... No. Very good. Okay, well, the follow-up trivia that was pretty good. I like this one also. The original manuscript of Harry Potter was rejected how many times before being picked up by a publisher? Imagine if that was on your desk, like, nah, man, no one's ever gonna buy that. Wizard and whatnot. How many times was the original manuscript of Harry Potter rejected?
Okay.
Nailed it. 12 times. Wow. I'm not even gonna give you, Yeah, right.
I haven't read the book.
Sure.
Alright, so next up we've got Cherry Garcia. Oh no, this is ice cream. Jerry Garcia, you look young to be playing for the Grateful Dead, but you have Print Label and Marketing Solutions. You're a label manufacturer company founded here in the city of McAllen? Alright, so Mr. Jerry, if you don't mind coming on up.
Oh, really? We're gonna get a break?
You want to take a break? No, take a break. Don't be scared, man.
Well, that's 'cause he said we were gonna be.
Do you want the microphone? No, sure. Cool. Alright, so you've got 6 minutes to tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can help you.
Okay.
Is that cool?
That's cool.
Ready
You
to
tell
go?
me when to start, okay?
Alright. You're on.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Jerry Garcia. I'm the founder of Print Label and Marketing Solutions. Jorge invited me to be here today. He was like, you need to come. And I mean, I've only met him once before this, and well, I mean, him and Michelle and Easy, they've all motivated me to be here today, and they told me, you know what, we think you have a story to tell. And I don't know, I think what I'm gonna be talking to you guys about today is not a lot about my company. I wanna talk to you guys more about my story and kind of like my journey to be where I'm at today. So I wasn't born here, I was born in Mexico. I've been living here for the past 5 years maybe. And I was a high school dropout actually. So when I was a freshman, I decided that I didn't want to do high school. It was too much of a pressure for me. I was just struggling really bad with a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of emotional problems, and my family went through like some really serious stuff. So as an act of rebellion or as an act of just bettering myself, I actually dropped out of high school, and I was out of high school for 2 years. So my sister got sick, she got meningitis, she was on the verge of dying. So I mean, aside from dropping out because I wasn't mentally stable at that time, I had to take care of my sister, right? So I come back when I'm 17 years old. I come back here. I go to McAllen High School. They wanted to put me as a freshman. So 17 years old, being a freshman, that's normally the age when high school students graduate from high school, right? And I was so embarrassed to be doing freshman classes with all these 14, 13-year-olds, and then I was the oldest one, and it was a horrible time, to be honest with you. But I would tell my counselor, like, I want to graduate this year, like, and I'm gonna do it, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna achieve it, right? I graduated in 2 years. I was a graduating sophomore. I graduated when I was supposed to graduate initially by receiving help from a lot of the other people at the school and from my friends and from my family, that they motivated me to like not give up. And then after that, I went on to do college. And I came from a really like not wealthy family. I mean, we were middle class and then lower class when I started college, and then I didn't have like the option to go to college unless I had to work. I was working at International Bank, which I don't know if you guys know, but it just went through a merger. Now it's Vantage Bank. I was the youngest hire there in the real estate department. They hired me at 17, I believe. Yeah. And they put me in the 6th floor, and then I was working at a nonprofit called CAMP, which helps migrant students succeed in college. We give them grants, we give them stipends and many things. And through doing that, I was able to put myself through college. I graduated summa cum laude. I'm a 4.0 GPA. Finance, I love finance. That was my thing. I love numbers, and I love everything number related and banking related. And then from there, I was like, okay, so what's next? I mean, what do I do now? Do I move? Do I go to Austin, San Antonio? Do I move to Houston, Chicago? I mean, I have friends around a lot of places, but in reality, I was like, that's the reason why the Valley never grows. I mean, it makes a lot of talent, and people grow here, and people learn from here, and people live from here, and then they leave. We cannot retain the Valley because we don't offer options to the people that are graduating from schools here.
So real quick, just because you've got 1:45 left.
Yes.
And we haven't learned anything about your company yet.
Oh, yeah.
So the whole purpose of being here is to speak about what your company is and what you do and how we can help you with that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but this is a great opportunity in front of people who want to help your business succeed. And so it's a great story. But if you could spend a little bit of time talking about what your business is and what you do and how the community can help your business grow.
Okay.
We've got some time left.
Okay, sure. Graduated from college, went on to open my company. I have a label and manufacturing company. So basically what I do, I work a lot in the produce sector. I work manufacturing all the labels that go in papayas, bananas, watermelons, pineapples, you name it. And I've been doing that for about 2 years. My office is right here on 83 and 2nd Street, right in front of the Fireman's Park. I started doing that. I really liked it. I honestly, it's, if you think about it, all products need labeling. All products need like a brand, and that's what what I like doing. I like branding items. I like creating ideas, creating color schemes, and all of these fun things, and then to actually have the machines to do the actual label and to print it out, to put it in a final product, is, I mean, it's we're on what's it called, like a full business, right? We go from developing an idea to creating the scheme to putting the label on the product. And I mean, thank you to you guys for having me here. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was about a business. Jorge told me that it was about my journey and about not a sales pitch, so I didn't want to pitch anyone here. But I welcome everyone to, if you guys want to ever grab coffee or something and talk about life or work or whatever, I would be more than happy to. I actually like doing that a lot, and talking to people, it's really interesting. So thank you.
So I don't know, usually the Q&A is about your business. Yeah, so we've got 20 minutes. Is there any, do you want to have some questions?
We'll start with, what was your biggest challenge in
my business? So right now, this is a camera, by the way, so it's recording me. So the biggest challenge that I face right now has definitely been time management. And I'm gonna talk from a personal perspective. So I'm young, I still wanna go out and have fun, and sometimes I wanna go out with my friends and go to concerts. And I don't want to in the future say like, oh, like I dedicated my whole life to working and to, creating a business, and I didn't enjoy my young years, So I try to time manage everything. I try to separate my personal life from my work life. And unfortunately, it hasn't worked out the way that I want to. Sometimes the two interlap a lot. I constantly find myself, yesterday I was working till 9 at night, and he was calling me, and I was like, I can't respond to you. I just can't. Give me some time. It's tax season. It's the end of the quarter, in October 21st. So finding the balance between, all the things that I want to do personally and all the things that I want to do in the workplace has been a big, big challenge, all the time management.
How did you select your business?
I'm sorry?
How did you go about selecting? You graduated from college,
Mm-hmm.
You had banking experience,
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing labels.
Yes. So how
did you get from the bank to the label?
So how did it start? So my mom had worked at a label manufacturing company for many years. And that's what I learned growing up. I learned looking at, the rolls, and looking at the design of it, and looking at all the colors. And she would come home. Do you know what a pantone is? Okay, so she would come home with that thing, and it's like, how can I say? It's like a little booklet that has all the colors that you can imagine of, and you pick it's like
Pantone is the standard for
colorization. So, and she would come home and she would be picking what do you think goes with this black? Orange? No, that's too Halloweeny. No, let's do purple. Oh no, that's still too Halloweeny. No, let's do yellow. Then I would see her so excited about all these little things, and I was like, you know what? I want to do that. She actually doesn't do it anymore. She's into construction now. But for a long while growing up, that's what I would see, and that's that was my. I grew up seeing that, and I was like, you know what? I feel like when you want to open up your own business, you have to think about the demand that business is going to have. And here in the valley, we have one of the biggest import and export, cities in the world because, the border's right there. So there's fruit and vegetables coming in through the border every single day in large quantities. And I have a lot of friends in the produce industry that would tell me like, I have 120,000 papayas coming in through the border tomorrow. Like, and they come labeled from, I don't know, La Villita or something like that, right? Some other company. And the thing with brokerages is they buy it from them, right? And then they resell it to another company. But of course you don't want to have the name of the other company in your product because then they just skip you, right? They skip the broker and then there's no profit for the small business here in McAllen. So what I provided and the idea that I came up with is I'm gonna open this label manufacturing business. I'm gonna focus, my niche market is produce. I'm not limited to it, but that's the one that I'm gonna focus most of my time with, right? I'm gonna be selling to those clients that want to label their own product as if they had grown it, And then we open many more opportunities for brokerage firms to get, to be buying and selling in their logistics and everything. So.
Are there labels coming in from Mexico?
Some of them are, some of them are not.
So
I have.
You have to have the label removed and put your label on it?
Yeah, some companies do that. So I don't do the label placing. I'm not in charge of anything label placing. And actually, I can give you an example. Right now, one of the biggest ones that I'm working with is Bonafruit. And they actually, how they label their product is an automated machine. So it goes through like a conveyor, and then the machine just puts the label on them. But the thing is that that machine is only housed in Guadalajara. So it's like a monopoly, if you want to say it. So only in Guadalajara they can do that. There's no other place in Mexico that has that type of machine specifically for that product. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it manually. Even if I have to pay salary, I'm gonna do it manually. But then, like, I need to find like the people that are gonna do it manually, and I need to find the labels that are easy to remove, and I need to find people that are really precise, and it's a whole thing. But yeah.
Totally produce, or you label any kind of material, steel?
So right now, I started with produce only, and right now we're doing, like, for example, we're working with Juice Up. It's with Ms. Jorella. She does like juice. She has a juicing company. We've been on conversation with the guy from 90s Cookies, which he wants to actually increase his production, and he wants to do like a more standard label. Can you remember? I'm working a lot with iMac. iMac from New York, which was, they reached out. We didn't do like a pitch to them or anything. They reached out to us. They actually have their import-export facility here in Interlink in Highland. And medical equipment, you think about it and you're like, okay, what do they need labels for? They put an order every week for labels and different types, and we work in very different industries. I would ideally, to be honest with you, at this point, and that's part of what I want help with, I want more talent so that I can focus on my niche market, and with the connections that I'm building in my niche market, which is produce. Marco came to help me out, and I've told him, okay, you need to stay within one area of your market so that you don't become crazy, because then there's someone calling you from a restaurant, and someone calling you from medical equipment, someone calling you from produce, and you lose track of everything. And I want to be able to specialize in something and to have a good group that is going to specialize each on their own market.
What are you finding that's stopping you from doing that?
Well, what do you think? A lot of, I would say that...
People, because no one can find good people to do anything anyway.
I know.
Good employee does not exist.
Honestly, I have really good people on my team right now. You've met some of them, Claudette and Pedro, and they were here last time. But I'm having like difficulty, I would say, since I'm not there as much right now because I'm doing all of these other things, meeting with clients and stuff. They get how do you say that? Like they get behind, they fall behind on kind of like their training, right? He's the one that has been training them mostly. He is the one that's telling them like, hey, you guys need to do this, you guys need to reach out to these people, we're behind on this order. We're getting emails every day, you have to check your emails. And I can't constantly be reminding them every day. So that, I guess the problem right now is on me, to be honest with you. It's on me and kind of like finding that balance so that I can actually motivate people to stay. I'm sorry? I know. Definitely. Yeah, and believe me, I know. And I think that through like compensation, not only monetarily, but compensation in different aspects, like in taking care of the people that I work with, they'll appreciate maybe that this business and the growth that you can find in this business. But if not, I mean, it's on to the next, right? I mean, yes?
Do you have trouble delegating?
Yes, so many trouble, especially with finances. I like doing everything financial myself. I don't trust anyone doing like bookkeeping, nothing. So yeah.
It's gonna be your downfall, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's good. Yes.
I guess I was just curious. What do you do more of? Marketing solutions or label manufacturing, or do they usually come hand in? Or is it usually a double?
So the reason why it's label and marketing solutions is because label is my specialty, right? But I have been, for example, I get requests all the time from people like, hey, can you do a flyer for me? And I'm like, I mean, I obviously don't want to say no, right? So I'm like, yeah, of course I'll do it. But then that takes, 30 minutes from my time that I could be concentrated doing labels. The marketing solutions are specifically tied to the label company, meaning that I go from choosing the color, I don't choose it myself, right? I talk to the client and tell them, hey, this is what's gonna work for your product. Like a brand consulting. These are the colors, this is a style, this is a shape, this is what's gonna cost you less money. And I have some good examples that I can show everyone after of people that, for example, a business called, ¿cómo se llama? Bali International Pastry, BIP. She had some, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this in camera. She had some ugly paper just on top of the empanada thing, just taped with like regular tape. I was like, how much is that costing you? Like, oh no, like 0.3 cents. Because I mean, I don't know, she said 0.3 cents. And I was like, and you're actually buying it from someone? Yes. The label that I'm producing for her is like 0.0029 cents each. And it goes from not only showing her brand, but also sealing the actual product. So it goes from top all the way to the bottom to seal it. I was like, as long as we're clear on, I never like to, I was like, believe me, I'm making a profit from what I'm charging you. I don't do any type of I'm not gonna lowball my work, because at the end of the day I have to pay salaries and stuff.
Well, maybe that's where you can step away from, because I imagine there's a lot of great, oh my gosh, I can't think of it. A lot of great digital designers, what's the word?
Graphic designers.
That maybe that could free up some of your time, not outsourcing, but finding someone, hiring someone to do that.
I have a graphic designer right now in-house, and but for example, just yesterday, and we had to finish 4 label designs. I mean 4, and I mean yesterday I was like, right, I had to leave because I wasn't the Texas controller. I mean, this is a real life example with the Texas controller all day. So I told them, okay, finish the 4 designs, send them to me, I'll approve them, and I'll tell you what to change, right? But from there on, I need to send to production. Like, there's no oh, let me go to the office and check them. No, it has to be right away, right? So, I mean, I already hired a graphic designer, but thank you so much for that, because I really needed it. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, speaking and growing a business, I think the principal problem is to grow a team. And I grew my company in work with the team, not just getting what to do, you know? And so, something that I wanna, suggest you, that like training is very important. Sometimes as a company, we don't see how important it is really to build a team, you know, to train with them, because everyone has a very good things to, and their expertise to give to your company, but it doesn't mean that is what you need in your company, right? So, I would suggest you to go through that. I'm
Mhm.
very good for that too. So,
That's good.
we can talk, yeah, we can talk. For me, growing my business, it was like, you know, in 1 year, you know, grow 600%. It was everything about my team. Everything. I never care about my customers. I care about my team.
You care about your team, and yeah, no, that's right. If you care about your team, then they're gonna take care of your clients for you.
Exactly.
So.
For me always is, if you know how to do it, you can do it.
There's a really good book called Extreme Ownership that's been on the New York Times bestseller list forever. And it's written by 2 Navy SEALs and a Navy SEAL commander, and it talks about the way that the engagement that they got involved in Afghanistan, and how they take the training of a Navy SEAL and they take that into a business environment. And it's a fantastic read, and it deals with a lot of with what you're going through, which is you want to be the person who's in charge of everything. You don't want to let go of control over here. You don't want to let go of control over here. You don't know if you can trust these people to do everything. And it talks about that ultimately that's what gets people killed and more. And it talks about that's what leads to an entire unit not working together. And it's everything from being the owner of your company, but also being the owner of the responsibility of the company. And yeah, there's a work-life balance, right? I mean, we've all been through that one. But I've got 5 kids and 6 companies and a nonprofit, and I have a full-time job. So there's a lot of work-life balance that happens, but there's also this method and theory that you can only be good at one thing at one time. And if you're gonna try and do multiple things, whether that's, you can be really good at living life on the weekends, and you can be really good at working really hard during the week, maybe that's a different approach to looking at that work-life balance, of understanding one leads to the other, but the other doesn't lead back. You know what I mean? So I would totally suggest reading Extreme Ownership. It gives you a lot of things to think about the way that you work with teams, and then the way that you work with overall management style of your business, and delegating and keeping everybody informed as to what the end result is. Because I've been a graphic designer, and I've had a boss who's told me, okay, I'm gonna call you and tell you what changes you need to make. You're gonna lose a graphic designer like that.
It's difficult. It's very difficult.
Yeah, they hate micromanagement, especially artistic people.
Especially artistic people.
Yeah, so I would totally recommend that you read that book, but it does sound like you have a lot of different things going on at the same time, and your passion doesn't match up with what you're doing. There's like a little bit of a disconnect there. But I get it, you're 22, we were all 22, you know what I mean? But your passion isn't connecting your life story and what you're trying to accomplish. It seems like this is a means to that end, but what can your business do, and how can the community help you from a business perspective so that you can achieve what your real goals are, which are enjoying life and not having to worry about the work component of it. And so I think, from the crowd, what is it, what else can we think of? What advice would we have?
Well, the thing is that if you want to have time in your hands, you gotta let go of what you have in your hands now. And for that, you need somebody that you can really trust. Now, you can even subcontract on small companies.
But you have to be willing to trust them.
And trust is the work. That's the key. And actually, once you find somebody, you can expand a little bit more. You can subcontract other people. You can put it in your own rules and sign here, and that's how you control. But the other people you can trust, they'll give you more time. They'll give you more time for you, whatever you want to do, you're the boss. You're the boss. But you gotta let go.
Yeah.
You have in your hands, because if you don't let go, you're never gonna receive it. You gotta let go of what you have, you gotta trust somebody. And on financial, I understand, you wanna control your money.
Yeah.
I understand, everybody does, but most likely, you just gotta let go. You gotta let go, but you gotta have your own rules. This is your side, this is how you run, this and that. Once every 2-3 days, you sit back and you just gotta watch everything back, and that's it. But you just gotta let go.
And then from there.
That's
No, you're right.
When we hired an accountant with one of my first small businesses, I didn't want to do it. I was like, my wife knows QuickBooks, and I know QuickBooks and Peachtree, and like I can do all this, and why should I pay someone else to do it? Man, I don't know how much they charge me, and I don't give a shit. Because it makes my life so much better, where I just go, they got it, I filed my taxes, don't care, they took care of it, if not, it's their problem, not mine. So it's, being able to delegate responsibility is so huge, and you have to understand the biggest thing that and maybe this resonates with some of you, the biggest, like, aha moment that I had is you talked about how much you charge per hour. It's about how much I charge per hour for tech consulting, $150, $250 an hour, $2,000 a day, just to come and talk to people about technology. You have to realize what your time is worth. And your time, when you're popping out of it, when you're spending 6 hours at a comptroller's office, that's worth $1,000.
It is.
If you're spending your time there, number one, what's that costing the company? And how are you being compensated for that? Because it's not just about what you do for your organization, it's about what are you able to take away from that, but overall, how is your organization suffering because you're away from that? And so if you're taking 30, 45 minutes, an hour to approve graphic design, is that the best use case for what you're doing? Last week, the CEO of Hewlett-Packard, one of the largest global tech companies, the CEO of Hewlett-Packard made a coffee for me on an espresso in his office. And I joked with him that it was a $6,400 cup of coffee, because he makes $12 million a year, and if you break that up to what his hourly rate would be as a barista, that's $6,000 an hour. And so we joked about it, but then I said, what would your board of directors think if you just served coffee all day? Is that a good use of time? Is a $6,000 cup of coffee, it was cool, I got the coolest Instagram selfie with this guy, but is that a good use of his time? And I mean, from a customer engagement perspective, whatever, that's awesome. But I would encourage you to look at that as to what's the real cost for not letting go and not being able to delegate to people.
Yes.
Jerry, first of all, I applaud you for getting on your feet in front of a crowd like this.
Yeah.
And
It's not easy.
That's right, and leading with your nose. But you're a very young man, and you got a lot of life ahead of you, man. It's a great thing. You chose entrepreneurship, or it chose you. So you have to, here you got two decisions to make at 22. What is it you want to do right now? Make money or party? Because you can't do them both well, right?
No.
You get them both done, but you can't do them both well. So you got to make that decision. And again, you chose entrepreneurship. You're not working for someone else that pays your checks and that kind of stuff. So you got to make that decision. The other decision you have to make, and this gets back to time management too, is what he's talking about here. You got to major on the minors. I mean, you can't major on the minors. You've got to decide what your time is most effective doing, right? And you have to choose at times as an entrepreneur. I'm fundamentally a writer, but I run a company, a business, and it's got multiple people and all kind of moving parts every day. I rarely get the opportunity to write anymore because I've got to manage the operation. So you've got to choose if you want to be the craftsman over here, the designer, you know, critiquing and editing all the labels and all that stuff you were talking about, or if you want to put your eye on the 10,000-foot view and manage your operation, because now you do have to be on premises all the time, managing the processes, at least until you can delegate and trust people to run your processes for you, or find some technical systems that get all that done for you, so you can monitor it by your phone. We've got a publishing program at my company that's completely user-friendly, real-time. I can watch everybody and what they're doing on my app. So I can be here, but also running my operation. So the one decision you got to make as a young man with all your life ahead of you is, do you want to party right now or work? Because you can't do them both.
No, you can't. And I mean,
at your age, you can go work now for the next 5 to 10 years, really. I mean, just put it in 14-hour days and then go party and buy an island somewhere. You know,
that's true. That is true. I mean,
right. And then two, you really do got to delegate.
Good, that's Jocko. I know that voice.
You got to delegate some of the lesser tasks to. I mean, you're 22, man, so you're managing people who may be a lot older than you.
yeah, double my age.
Right. So
my graphic designer.
Okay, so you've got to really focus on managing the business right now, and building the business, getting that up, and delegate and they're not lesser tasks. They're very important to what you do. But
exactly.
Artists, editing, that type of stuff, man, all that type of stuff. You gotta delegate that to someone else. You just gotta trust that they'll get the job done and that you recruited well.
Thank you.
Well, with that, that wraps up our time. So I want to thank you as a token of our appreciation. It's not, you know, we do this, and I talked about this at the last one. We actually do exactly this in my organization, the Comcast organization, where we assemble an entire sales team from a region, and one salesperson at a time sits in a room just like this in front of all of his peers and all the vice presidents, and they talk about an opportunity that they're working on. And they split up into groups, and one group is the customer, one group is the senior management, and one group is the competitor. And so what they do is they just sit here and they pick the opportunities through, so that way when the salesperson goes back out in front of that account, they know exactly how to attack and what to attack with. And it's not easy standing up here, this microphone's all sweaty, but
No, I have
no,
a
I'm just
commission.
messing with you, man.
No, but I was like, I
I'm
have
just
it.
giving you a hard time,
Yeah.
making jokes. But it's not easy to get up here, but you know, hopefully that's part of this, is understanding not just the opportunities that the crowd can bring in, but you got a lot of white hair in this room. Some of us who still have hair. No way. But there's a lot to learn, man. So I applaud you on your journey. And if you're just independently wealthy, I have a sister-in-law. She's totally single. She's really
Thank you.
Anyway, so thank you for taking the time to be with us.
Silver wants to make an announcement real quick, 20 seconds.
Remember, I have that Ready Tea, and part of my business is communicating and working with the community. I am part of a golf tournament going on November 11th. It's called Veterans Day Golf Tournament, where veterans from all over the valley will play free. We teamed up, the city of Mission and Ready Tea teamed up to bring and host this golf tournament on November 11th, on Veterans Day, for all veterans in the Rio Grande Valley, free. Please check out ready-tee.com and sign up and let other people know about it. Thank you.
So that's good for October, November 14th, you said? Same bad time, same bad channel. Please invite your friends, people who may get a kick out of this, people who can help, people who like donuts and coffee. But otherwise, please also make sure, we talked about social media a little bit. If y'all could, if you don't mind, please tweet about this, talk about this. There's a hashtag, it's 1 million cups McAllen. Tag the McAllen Chamber of Commerce. Let people know that this is going on, or else it'll just continue to be, you know, less little group of people. But anyway, we appreciate your time. Have a wonderful.
Is the bell part of everybody's 1 million cups? Is it something
No.
you can do here in McAllen?
It's just McAllen.
Okay.
What if really likes bells? It makes it sound like Christmas every
Red
time.
bells.
Anyway, y'all have a wonderful